Good evening. Excuse me. It's 7 o'clock. It's Monday night, so it's mental mind treatment time. I might look a little funny today because I've had a lot of problems in the last couple of days with my left elbow. And today was my day to go to the hospital to have my infusion, which is done. But in the meantime, they did some other treatments on my arm to see if we could find out what exactly is going on. This morning, I couldn't even type with my left hand. Tonight, I was able to type up the description like I always do, but it's very sore, and I'm taking stuff for it. But we're a little at a loss at what exactly is causing it. But anyway, that's just where I'm at tonight. Looking forward to being here at 7 o'clock. So, my little insight card, it just says here with a daffodil on it. Well, we've only got a couple months to go to that. It just says, just for today, I will notice all the beauties surrounding me. And I thought that was really appropriate because I spent most of my day in the oncology department getting ready to have my infusion, talking to the doctors, talking to the nurses. And thank goodness there was there were several people there, but one of them was a gentleman who likes to make people laugh. So I went in a little upset because I couldn't hardly use my arm, and he had me laughing. So I came out feeling much better than when I went in, for sure. And I have been able to use it much more, which is good. On the flip side, it says forgiveness. Oh boy, do I ever go on about forgiveness. You guys probably don't know that, but I do it a lot. It says forgiveness occurs when I let go of my attitudes and judgments and am willing to perceive through the eyes and the heart of God. And the word judgment being in there, if any of you have been watching my shorts that I'm now doing, the last one was about judgment. And someone said that they really, really like my shorts because it comes out very sincerely. That's true. It's only 60 seconds. You've got 1 little minute to do it. Okay, so we've got online already Marion, Kayla, and Karen. I'm going to start with Karen because the other two have already talked to me and given me what they want, but I just want to see what we've got here. I would love a treatment for guidance, and thanks. I will. Yeah, I was going to ask anybody wants in healing from my poor left elbow. Yeah, it's been sore for several days now, but anyway. We're going to get to the bottom of it, I'm sure, this week. Okay, Karen, 22, 6, and 8. We've got all this faith going ahead. But there is that part of really recognizing how everything flows. Everything has a flow. It's like the river. Our blood flows around our body. But it's like where life is a flow. And so it's maintaining, if we're looking at it male, female wise, that like maintaining a balance, maintaining a sense of being. So that balance gives you the clarity, the strength, the purpose, and the awareness of the faith. So we can have the faith to lead us, but our practicality is what really has things come into focus, we'll say. So when we're talking about guidance, I'm just going to do a treatment here, and I'm going to do it on with a sense of focus. This is what we're focusing on. Okay. I know there is one power and one essence, and I know that essence is in and around and within each one of us. And therefore, I speak my word for Karen. As I speak my word for Karen, I know that her faith has grown strong and the willingness to move forward. And now comes the next level of balance and awareness and purpose, and a strengthening of how we bring the higher spirit down into practical application. In applying that, there is strength, there is power, there is wisdom. And I find that it's a little difficult for me to lift my head up. So I want to say, I know, even though there is faith in the purpose of where you're heading, I want goals. I want to know this is where I'm heading. This is where the power of the universe is supporting me and bringing me to the direction of where I want to go. So I give thanks and knowing for Karen that she is on her way, on the purpose, on the avenue of where she's heading and what she is doing, as all is well. Okay, so I'm going to go to my people who prepaid me. I wish. Anyway, sorry about that. This is from Marion, 3, 5, and again 22. You know, I love watching how the numbers show up. Hang on a minute, little drink of water here. And Marion would like clarity of purpose. What I like about the numbers that's been presented is that the love that is there, the knowingness, the awareness of everything and how that works. And knowing, to me, this shows the element of being able to represent the knowledge and the awareness to others and having faith in the direction of where you're having. It's almost like what you have to share, what you have to do, what you love to do is that you share it and have faith and purpose around that. So let's just see what the mental mind treatment brings out. I'm sorry about this. I know there is one power and there is one essence, and therefore I speak my word for Marion on this day of February 26, 24. I know that as I move forward, understanding the vibration of love, the vibration of knowledge, and the vibration of purpose, and allowing it to come very clear to me with a purpose in mind of how clear and how aware and the knowingness of the direction. There is such a sense of vision, except I also find I can't quite look far enough. It's almost, again, I think we're going to be talking a little bit about goals tonight, because it's like, here again, I want a more goal line of the direction, not the loss of, oh, what is it I'm purposing? What is it do you want to do? Because we always know in our hearts what we want to do, but it's like we got to set our goals. The universe doesn't always tell us exactly what is. What it does is it moves to create for you what it is that you want. And if you're not real clear and you're asking for clarity, the clarity is within you. The clarity is here, which you know. What is it you want to create? What is it you want to do? And in the creating and the wanting of doing of that it all comes. And so the vision that you have is the clarity of your purpose. The vision of what you want to achieve is the clarity of your purpose. But it's like you've got to see it ahead and not get too much. That's two people. I've had my head down. And that is not seeing the goal. That is not seeing the reward. That is not achieving. It's like, so you give a muddled message to the powers that be, we'll say. So I give thanks for knowing that clarity of purpose comes to the form of, yes, this is what I want to do. Yes. And you have a clear vision of what you want to do. So we're asking for clarity, because you must see the clarity of the vision. You must know what your purpose is and set it as a goal. That's my goal. Because you're always asking to tell me or show me. I just feel it gets too murky. It's not enough. They like to be there to reinforce supply and support and awareness of the direction. So anyway, I trust that. And I trust that as I see that, as we release this thought, we know that it is true, that Marion can have clarity of purpose because she looks to create what she sincerely in her heart wants, what it is she wants. Not this or that or the other, but what she really, really wants to do, and allow that to be manifested. So we want then to move from clarity of the purpose to the manifestation of the goal, which is the purpose, same as the purpose. I give thanks in this, knowing this as I release this thought, knowing it to be by saying, and so it is. And so it is. I'm just going to move down on my sheet here for Kayla. Love flows through and around you as you channel the treatment. She's given me several here to do, which I will intersperse with some of the others. So Kayla for herself, I just wrote down numbers 4, 3, and 12. Which is basically kind of stuck and stodgy and not feeling, as we know, not because Kayla's asked for energy and releasing anything, which I wrote on releasing anything which is not self-love. And that's what it says, is that there's so much love here, but it does have to be accepted in the sense of purpose of self. So let me just do the treatment on this. I know the one power and the one essence, that we're all one. And therefore, I can speak my word for Kayla with clarity and ease, knowing that there is energy within that supplies a sense of purpose, a sense of direction, a sense of lovingness, because there is so much love here. But I think when we overdo the love out, we got to keep the love in. We got to keep the love in for ourselves. And that's what I'm getting. And it says, oh, and that's why I've got here, the energy is there, but to release anything which is not self-love. And sometimes we think, well, if we're helping this or we're doing this or we're worrying about this, we're actually doing loving, but we need to really bring it. It's like, say horse racing. I grew up with horse racing, and the jockey holds the horse, and at the end lets it go, but he waits until it's the right time to let it go. And I feel this is that you've got to conserve the energy and know that loving heart of yours, just be in it, be relaxed with it, and allow the self-love to show you what can create even more self-love. I give thanks in the knowing of this as I release this, knowing it is true and it is done, that Kayla has energy and clarity actually for her purpose of being, which is loving herself. And I'm going to release that, knowing that it is true and it is done. And so it is. Okay, I'm going to come down. Hang on a minute. Karen to Maggie G says hello. And she has, just a minute, Maggie G. And hang on a minute. My sending you healing. Thank you. And the numbers for me are 10 and 7 and 14. Okay, so right. 10 is change. 10 is needing to be like the center of the wheel, because it's the wheel of fortune. So it's like being in the center while everything moves around, and it can be either spinning or stagnant. And when I look at 7, it shows change. And the 10 is change. So I think this change is happening around you, whether you're aware of them or not. They're there. And it's like the 14 says, know what you know. And even though you don't know what's coming next, even though the changes that are happening are uncertain and unsure, is that for you to realize that you are still you. You are still have knowledge, you have awareness, and you have an ability to be able to move and work within different ways. And so that will bring about a tremendous sense of direction for you as you move forward. Sometimes when things are in flux, it's very hard to feel that your feet are not on the ground. But in the reality is that you are the ground. You're the grounding factor for you. And that, yes, things get left behind, but those things often need to be left behind for you to grow in a different way, or a different element, or a different perception. And the key here is balancing what you already know as you're moving forward. So I give thanks in the knowingness that the power, as we look at the divineness of everything, and how everything is joined together, and how you have the ability to move this in a wonderful sense of direction of change. Looking at these 3 numbers, it's as though whatever that change is, whether you're aware of it or not, to me, it's very evident, is that it will be okay. It's not a disastrous thing. It's like a change. And in that change comes growth, comes balance, comes awareness, comes purpose, comes a whole sense of direction. I give thanks in the knowingness that all is well, and that the, what I wanted to say, gumption, but the knowledge gives strength. That's what a word I'll use, gives the strength of purpose as you move forward in the direction that you are wanting to go and how you want it to be. And it's giving thanks and direction of knowing that purpose will take you and bring you exactly where you need to be in light and love. It may not be a day, it may not be a month, it may not be 3 months, but you will get there because you have knowledge. Use your knowledge, use what you know. This is not a time to sit back and say, oh, what on earth is happening? It's time for you to take the reins and say, okay, here we go. And in here we go, then you use the knowledge to keep balanced and aware of the purpose of wherever it is that you're heading. So I give thanks in knowing this. As I release this, I give thanks in knowing that you have strength, power, awareness, love, all that you need to move forward into newness, into change, because you have knowledge. Remember that. Use your knowledge, use your awareness, and it will be easy and move forward in the direction you want to. Okay. Bless you, Magaji. Okay, I'm going to go back up here to Kayla's grandson, who I think it's okay to say had a little bit of trauma in his driving to Portland a few days ago. And of course, it's shaken up, but it wasn't, from the sounds of it, weren't hurt. The vehicle was, but they weren't. So actually, when I tuned into the numbers of this, I got 20, 15, and 7, which is 20 is always about, is another acceptance number in lots of ways, acceptance of the outcome of whatever happens. But 15 is the emotional, and 7 talks about leaving that behind. So what I'm going to treat for here is to let go of the trauma and to relax, giving thanks for the safety, his safety. Anyway. I know in the one power and the one essence, as I speak my word for Connor and his friends, is that every day the sun comes up and it's a new day. Some days the sun comes up and you can't see it. And some days it is there. And what one has to recognize here is that every day is a new day, and somewhere the sun is shining. You just don't see it because of the clouds. And when you have trauma, you get all caught up in reliving it and feeling it and knowing it, and maybe beat yourself up mentally because of it, etc. But it's knowing that sun has risen and it's a new day, and that you move on. You're still alive. You're still here on earth. You are still processing so that you can move forward from that. And every day that sun comes up, what will occur is it's like a brand new day. It's a brand new awareness, a brand new sense of being able to move in the direction of where you're going. Sometimes we forget these traumas are really awakenings. It's like someone banging on the door saying, hey, wake up, wake up. And what it does is open up new avenues, whether it's an internal avenue, whether it is a psychological avenue, whether it's a spiritual avenue, it will wake you up. I give thanks for knowing that Connor, that you and your friends are safe and sound. I give thanks in knowing that even though everything got really shook up and it was traumatic, is that you're here for a new day, that you can let go of the fears, you survived, and all is well. I give thanks and strengthen that whole feeling of, okay, what's next? What is opening up next? Because sometimes traumas come along to say, this is a phase that's over, and now it's a new day, a new awareness, a new dawn is opening up. And so I give thanks in knowing this for Connor and his friends as I release this thought, knowing it is done and true on every level that has to do with Connor in particular and his friends also, which is great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So just let me, Karen Lee, hello there. She says, I love a treatment for restful sleep. Yeah. Okay, hang on a minute. I got to get down here because sometimes I forget too quickly when I'm looking at these things. Karen Lee, like sleep only getting, an hour and two is not enough, even in a day, never mind a week. So let's see what we're getting. 12, 15, and 17. First thing I run into, because this is about acceptance of emotionality and remembering to be balanced. But the first thing I get is tremendous, there's an inattention. It's almost like you might think it's just the conscious mind going. I think it's deeper than this. I think it feels to me like there is a deep-seated fear. You could read it as a tension, but I believe it's a fear. And it buzzes. It's like bees buzzing. I don't know if that makes sense to you. If you can get on here, Karen Lee, and say, yes, that makes sense or not, I'd appreciate that because that's where I'm feeling I'm having to go, is going deep into the fear. It's like a choice. And I don't know what happened to you when you were around 7. I get 2 years, 7, and I also get 10. It's like something occurred back there that's never really been resolved on those 2 ages. And it's like almost a fear of going to sleep because it buzzes. Okay, she says that makes perfect sense. Good. So now I've given you some years. It's like, and honestly, yes, certainly I can do work to help that, but you find the person that you want to work with. You need somebody else to guide you for this. Because I think this is what's happening is like it's bubbling. It wants to come out. It's like a memory that wants to be unlocked. It's a door that wants to spill out, but you're frightened of the spill out. So you're kind of trying to keep it locked down. So it feels like you always, like you're there. So what I would suggest is that you find someone, not yourself. You need somebody to guide you on this because often when we have to confront those deep fears, to do it on our own, we shy away. We back off. We don't go forward in the direction for the words of where you're happening and where you're going. So let me see how the treatment will work on this then. That's my suggestion anyway, there, but we'll see the treatment. I know in the one power and the one essence as I speak my word for Karen Lee, that it's not only about self-forgiveness that came up today. It's about exorcism. It's about letting go of the event, letting go of another person's energy. It's about becoming free in your own power and your own awareness, so that the fear of sleep, the fear of what bends, which creates the tension within, just is dissipated. It's almost like what I want to do is sprinkle love into the subconscious and just allow the love to diffuse all the anxiety that's deep. And it's deep. It's not like on the surface. It's not like something that's like, oh yeah, right, I remember that. It's like deeper down. So I give thanks for the releasing, the letting go, the aware of the, even if one isn't aware totally, but this would be good to know consciously, I think, is to let it go so that the radiation of knowledge and awareness that you actually have can be expressed. It's like a sense of moving into all that is happening, all that is aware. Oh, I just feel like I want to sit down and cry, to be honest, which won't be very good to do that I've done enough of that in the last few days, and I'll just think, okay, we've done enough of that. We don't need to do any more. So as I see this, it's like I can see the light trying to get in, but it's like, how do you crack a nut without a nutcracker? How do you get through on that? That is the whole thing. How do we do that? So that is, I'm sorry if I got kind of carried away on that, but it's true. It's like, I know with the proper support that is there with the universal love, that you can sleep restfully and peacefully, because those deep, deep subconscious fears are eradicated. They're gone. And the body relaxes, the mind relaxes, and everything is in accord. I give thanks in the knowledge that the accord will be reached, that the letting go of whatever occurred in the 2 ages I got was 7 and 10, that the law of love and light comes in and just literally smooths that. So there is a sense of peace and well-being and a knowing of your own power, which is easily assessed. And I just give thanks by saying, and so it is, as it is released and let go. I'm just going to go back to my book. Oh, see, you're putting lots of stuff in there, but we'll get to that. Jason. Again, I was given a name and I just put 17, 12, and 3. So again, 17, this balancing of knowledge, and 12, always acceptance, number that always shows up, because often it's always about accepting what is and not what we necessarily want. It's about what is, because we cannot change anything until we accept the reality of the present. Now, and then 3 being the love element. For Jason, at this moment, as I move into treatment for him, knowing that one power and one mind, and he knows a lot about this, is that the body and the mind relaxes and trusts the process. In other words, don't step out of your process. Stay in the process. Know that the divine is always, I sometimes talk about everything adds, and sometimes we cannot see possibly how what's going on is adding. Like, it doesn't make sense. But it's only in retrospect that we see that it makes sense. So it is by knowing that balance within the body-mind element that we have the relaxation and begin to trust the process. And this is what the goal for Jason, I think, at this next while, is just to relax and trust. I believe in miracles, and sometimes miracles occur. They don't occur too often when you're uptight. They occur when you're not expecting them. So just recognize that. So I give thanks by saying, thank you, thank you, thank you, as I release this for Jason as he moves on into the future being. I just have to go up here a little bit and see where we are here. Okay, I've got Karen Lee there, Kayla there, CC99, you got 20. Okay, hang on. I have to change my paper. I write big. CC99, you've got 22. Late night, Norma. This was a roller coaster yesterday and today. Personally, Sunday, I don't know quite understand what that part is. Oh, it's an astrology thing. Okay. Conjunction, yes, I know. Yeah. Appreciate this timing. It's all happening. Me. And then you got me too. I don't know what I was saying then, but I stop. Then you got signs, and then you say it's true. I appreciate those above numbers. And so now we've got 22, 7, and 10. Yeah, I need 3 to make the story. I understand and give thanks. And Karen Lee has also said thanks. And then CC has got below 17, 12, and 3. I think she has found what we were talking about. Okay. I don't exactly know what you want, but let's see what the 3 numbers here say. 17 is about knowledge and awareness and strength and being able to balance what you know. Like, how do you distribute your energy? Like, I know a lot of the years of study. I don't know everything. Granted, I don't, and I only know a certain amount and a certain level. But how do we use that? When you're going out with people, you don't expand on all the things. You listen to them, you be with them. So there's a balance of what you know and how much you put out. Healers, for instance, have to learn how much energy that they can put out energetically, where in sense of what they hold back. So that's really very important for you, Cece, because at this moment, because this is about acceptance and lovingness and how much you put out. I really think what I'm looking here is that, and this is common to many people who are in the healing arts of any kind, that they give a lot because they understand that it's replenished, but in a reality, you have to take the time to replenish. It's an ongoing thing that happens. But if you over put out and you get depleted, then what ends up happening is that you get tired and then you get drained. And I know there are people that I know people who do this, and I've done it myself. So, and I'm very aware and very careful these days in particular of how much I put out and when and where. Except you guys on Monday nights and all my YouTube shows. Acceptance of what you can do and what you can't do, I think, in this case, because your loving base wants to be, we have a very often an altruistic viewpoint of being the carriers of the love force. And I feel this is a case here. So what I'm going to do is do the treatment on being aware of yourself, actually. And I trust that that will work effectively for you. Let's see how it goes. Divine Essence, Mother, Father, Son is one. I'm doing a prayer for CC99. And I know that there is so much connection here to the knowledge and the awareness and the strength and the power. And I know that in being that sometimes that, I'm going to say the little CC gets lost a little bit because there's this bigger picture that she's working on. I also know that the love is always there, no matter which way or whatever it is that she does, because there is no judgment in love, no judgment at all. We don't have to give if we need to take time for ourselves. We don't have to give when there is elements to be created and to go. And when you get overwhelmed by giving, or being whatever it is that one does, CC needs to just remember to allow the love to come in for herself and to be at peace and knowledge and awareness and know that all is there so that she is absolutely in command of who she is, where she is, and when to say no and when to look after herself. I give thanks and knowing that Cece has the energy and the power, yes, but I also give thanks in that she knows to look after self first, because then self can help others. If you don't look after yourself, then everything gets kind of wonky. Okay? I give thanks as I release this, knowing that it is true for all things. That's what I was looking for. And so we clear that and let it go, and knowing that CC is fine. Jason, I remember seeing your name, and I'm kind of went too low. So, okay. Hi, Jason. Nice to see you again. A treatment for the present moment, 6, 2, and 13. Present moment, just to be, yeah. 6 shows a little bit of confusion, and 2 says make a decision, but 13 sees the need to clarify the direction. Okay, let's see what I can do with that in a treatment form. Knowing that love is ever present in all of us and all around us, I can speak my word for Jason. And as I speak my word for Jason, I know no matter what the confusion is, no matter what is taking place through the mind and the emotions and where and how they are. There is balance and there is an awareness of where and what one wants to do. And sometimes that means drawing a line in the sand and moving into a different perspective as you move forward, as you move into the new, as you create in a whole different way. I give thanks in knowing that you know inside what and who you are and not overthink it. Just accept it, love it, be it, because there's movement here. They're moving into the knowingness, and there is only the present. We have our goals, we have our reasons of where we're wanting to go and what we're wanting to create. And then as we move forward, we send beautiful sense of purpose and direction. I give thanks in knowing for Jason is that he allows himself to move forward where he really wants to be and doesn't clog everything up so it's hard to move there. I really feel the world is there waiting. The road is easy and clear. It's just a matter of moving forward. And for that, I give thanks. And I release this thought, knowing it is true. Jason has the opportunity to move forward in life and create exactly what he needs to create. And so we release this thought saying, and so it is. Amen. Okay, I'm just going to go back here. Next time you come, CC9, please just print out one long line rather than 10. Okay? Makes it a little easier for me on this end. Marion says, thank you. I agree. CC9 feminine is good. Okay, Heidi. Hi, Heidi. I don't know that you've been on. If you have been on before, I don't remember it. H. Okay, Heidi B. Okay, let me see what you said. Just tuned in and wide open for whatever my beautiful inner intelligence wants me to understand. Thank you kindly, Norma. It helps if I give, as I say, if in the directions, if you give me 3 numbers, because that is where I get a lot of my sense. I'm just going to give you a moment, Heidi, if you can print in 3 numbers between 1 and 22, because I needed some direction of what it is you want so we can find what this inner intelligence is happening. And while we're waiting, Jason says, I give thanks because I have one more person to do on my list. So I'm just going to give Heidi a moment if she will. If not, I'll just do my prayer because I don't need anything really. I just like having clarity. Anyway, I'm going to start. Okay. Thanks. Aha. There we go. Thank you, Heidi. That helps. 9, 11, and 22. Well, it tells me right away that you always know your own answers, that your intelligence is working with you, that you just need to commit to the direction that you really want to go in and have faith in it. So that gives me direction for the treatment. Thank you. So I know there is one power in one essence, and I know as I speak my word for Heidi B, that the knowledge that she has of what she would love to create and be and work with just needs the commitment of the journey, plus the faith, no matter what it looks like, to move ahead because it's in her heart's desire. That knowledge, that awareness, that knowingness, that push, I feel a little push, like get going, get going, get going, like whispering in my ears. And it's like making that commitment to jump off the cliff. What I see, because is cliffs with a big lake underneath them, people jumping off the cliff. My kids did that down in Washington State years ago when we were out camping. And it's like, you go, oh, and they come up fine. It's like they have absolute faith. And that's what you need is absolute faith. Yes, because you know what you want, but it's the commitment to the journey. It's like when I decided to do this even this evening and in the other shows that I do, it's like I knew I wanted to do them. And so I had to I had to commit myself. And you don't know, but this last year I've had health challenges. And the one goal I had was that I'd always be able to show up for the shows. And sometimes I wasn't in great form, but I was here. Excuse me, my throat's dry at the moment. So that's what I see here, Heidi B. You know what you want. You know how it is. That's your, if you call it divine intelligence, that's what I would say, is that just commit. And then faith will take you there. Faith, love, all of it will take you right there. Feels wonderful. I'll take that, but that one energy, I'll take myself as well. It's so beautiful. And I'm going to go back. Thank you. Jason says thanks. Thank you. All you guys. By the way, I'll come back and talk to that in a minute. I have this one more I've got to do here. We've had lots of time tonight. Okay, this is for Diamond. Numbers I picked was 17, 3, and 6, which is balancing love and confusion. So, yeah, what do we do with that? I've got trust and faith in the end result. As I speak my word for Diamond, I give thanks in knowing that she's balanced, she's aware, she's loving, and she knows. And even though everything may not be in total alignment, there is also a peacefulness inside by knowing this is how it is. There's an acceptance level here that is through love and understanding. I give thanks in knowing that this trust and faith in the end result, but the knowingness that I sense, the knowingness that is so strong, that I give thanks for, that this development is so beautiful and so easy, and so it's magnificent actually, because it's such a peaceful acceptance. This is how it is. And I give thanks and release this thought, knowing it is done and it is true and it is there. Thank you. Okay. Now, I want to thank you all for your support. I want to thank you for, if you enjoyed this, press the like button. Someone just told me, Norma, you got to ask for the like button. I usually just ask, subscribe, please. And, thank you for your comments, because I get lots of comments. Not so much on this show, but on the other shows I do. But I just want to really thank you. Yes, subscriptions are important. We've gone over 500, which is wonderful. I want it to stay over 500 because, they do vary a little bit. People come in and subscribe, then they decide, no, we're not subscribing. And so it's really great. I really appreciate the amount of people today have come in. This is great. Sometimes I've got my few still great ones and I love them. It's interesting. And what else do I want to say? Yeah, the like button. I had never ever asked for that. But your comments I love when you give them. Just being on the shows, I feel better anyway, because it just lifts me up, because that's what I love to do, talk. So I just want you to have a great week. Now, I will be back Wednesday. And, I wanted to say, if you haven't noticed the shorts that I've started doing from last week, I've done quite a few little ones. I'm trying to do, when I don't do a show, at least do one short a day. Sometimes doesn't work every day, but if I can, I do. I've already people saying they really like them. I find what I don't like about them is that whenever somehow I tried doing one through the computer and it didn't work very well. So they're all on my phone, but I always seem to have my mouth open or something. I'm still trying to figure out how to not to do that. See, that's life. Always something new, something wonderful, something great happening. Give thanks. Thank you for all the hearts going up. Who's doing that? So it's wonderful. You made my night. Thank you. I'll be back on Wednesday, and probably with a couple of shorts in between. Bye now. Have a great night.